I've been doing this for about 10 or 12 years, and I probably do 5 to 7 shows a year. Do the math. In the summer, I like to do juried art shows.
What was your best sale ever?
I like to elevate things so that nothing is laying flat. You want your booth to be cohesive. I found my reindeer. Yeah. Want to see him? There's a reindeer. The fun thing is you get to decide whether he's decorated for Christmas or tangled in the ornaments by accident.
So, Casper Simpson is the founder of Back Pocket Design and a member of our Denim Upcyclers Facebook community. Over the past decade, she has participated in more than 70 craft shows across Michigan, building an impressive track record of how to organize, set up, and sell successfully in these events. From joyful pillows and placemats to standout quilts, her craft show booths consistently captures attention and sparks smiles, making her a beloved figure in both the quilting and denim upcycling communities. I'm Ariane, your Denim Upcyclers channel host, and I hope you'll enjoy this conversation with Sue. Which type of shows been the most enjoyable and profitable for you?
I think I enjoy the Christmas ones because people are thinking Christmas gifts and they're thinking in that direction. So summer, they're just looking for something fun. But in November, they're looking for Christmas gifts. So those are usually more profitable.
Okay, so the Christmas
Yeah.
one are more like
Yeah.
gift
Yeah.
focus with the customer, while the summer one is more like strolling and more on the discovery
Mhm.
mode.
Right. They're on vacation, they're having fun, that sort of thing.
Why did you choose Craft Show as a sale channel, and why do you like them so much?
Well, I enjoy the interaction with people. I enjoy talking to people, and I enjoy the reaction when they walk by my booth and all the little critters are staring out at them and they're like, whoa. So, and it always brings a smile to people's faces, even if they don't buy something. That makes my heart happy. I enjoy the interactions and sometimes people give me ideas that, well, why don't you make this or why don't you make that? So it's a lot of give and take in the shows.
So, what type of ideas did you get before from customers?
More different critters like hippopotamus. I've got to design a hippopotamus now. It's funny. I had that for like 2 different people have asked for hippopotamus. So I think that's a viable thing. So we'll see. Now I got to fit one of those in a pocket. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because you have all those creatures stepping out of the jeans pocket. It's a bit of
Yeah.
your signature.
Yeah, it all started with a frog. I made a baby quilt for a friend and it was for a little boy and all the fabrics were little boy fabrics and I just pictured a little boy picking up a frog, walking around a pond and putting it in his pocket.
That's so cute.
And so I put a little frog in the middle of the quilt and then
Yeah.
after that I thought, what else can come out of a pocket, you know? So I started designing other critters and I designing flowers and what else can you put in a pocket, you know? It kind of got my creative juices going and it hasn't stopped.
I love that storyline. I almost feel like that it could be like a kid books
Yeah.
illustrated with your
Yeah,
craft or
it's
something.
it's in my mind. I gotta do that. It would be fun.
Do you have a specific method to pick the 5 to 7 craft show you do every year? Like, is it the location? Is it the reputation? Is it the price?
Well, when I first started doing craft shows, before I started, I asked my friends, I said, what shows do you like to shop at? And I asked them so they gave me a list of shows that they attend every year and that are always busy. And so I applied and those shows I still do today. And my friends that go to those shows stop by and see me every year. So that's kind of fun.
So, what was your first show?
I can't remember which show. I think it was at a Catholic church here in town. It was the first show that I ever did. And I had a little table and there was a stage behind me. So I set a whole bunch of stuff up on the stage behind me. And that was my first show. In the summer, I like to do juried art shows where you have to send your pictures in and apply. It costs more, but people are willing to spend more at those because it's juried. So they have to let you in. It's kind of a little more prestigious. So I like to get into those as a quilter because I think quilting's an art, and I think when I get in, I feel like they see me. I've applied to some and didn't get in, so
So it's a sort of validation of like where you're at in in your
Exactly.
craft.
Exactly.
Those like jury, the craft show, is it you have to pay to attend, or they
Mhm.
take a percentage of your sales,
You
or
pay a booth
both?
you pay a booth fee, and then your
Okay,
sales are your sales.
okay, perfect. And is it like that sort of model for all the craft show you attend to?
Yeah, and some of them asked for a donation item that they use to raffle off or make extra money. A lot of these craft shows and have a charity in mind. That always makes my heart happy to be able to contribute to that.
Of course. I feel
Hmm.
like when you're a maker, like, and you go through all those steps of those steps of like the material, the cutting, the
Hmm.
making, the
Hmm.
designing, the all these
Yeah,
things, and you're like finally like
yeah,
at your booth talking to the customer. It's a nice. It feels good.
it does. It's like you're on stage, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Putting up a
Yeah.
show.
Yep. Yep.
And do you stay in Michigan or you sort of
Yeah,
travel a
pretty
bit?
much stay in Michigan. I
Okay.
haven't traveled yet, so we'll
Hmm.
see. Most of them are day events. I do one in the summer that's a weekend event, and we kind of get a hotel room, and my husband and I, and have a fun weekend.
It's like a little trip.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I work, but he goes and plays.
yeah, exactly.
He helps me set up and then goes and plays.
So
Yeah.
how do you prepare the inventory, the packing, and also the setting up of the booth? Do you have some tricks?
Well, I make sure you don't want to have just one of something. You want to have a whole bunch of something usually. Because if you have one of something, people miss it. But if you have 10 of something, they like to choose. So it seems like sales are better that way.
Like the abundance of
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I always try to have a lot of pillows, and
yeah.
I have usually bring a few quilts are a higher priced item, so they usually don't sell at shows. Those are more a custom item, but I bring them to display with. All the furniture I bring folds up. So everything folds. I have folding chairs and folding things. I have a few vintage suitcases that I bring, which you can open up and display with, but you can
Hmm.
also carry stuff in.
Yeah, that's
So
wise.
those have a dual purpose. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always looking for nice quality vintage suitcases. I've got an old
yeah,
Samsonite,
yeah.
and they're great.
I write a monthly newsletter. It's full of tips, tricks, resources to help you better upcycle your jeans. It's made with a lot of love by an upcycled denim nerd, me. If you have not subscribed yet, click the link below and get your first newsletter. Let's go back to the interview now. How does
Mhm.
your year is split in terms of
Mhm.
making the inventory for the craft show and attending those different craft show, because it's almost like one craft show every other month or something. So
Yeah. It it's hard to predict,
yeah.
but sometimes I'll sell a whole bunch of tooth fairy pillows, or
Mm,
sometimes I'll sell a whole bunch of purses. Usually the summer shows the purses sell well because people want to wear them or carry them.
carry stuff and yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to predict because sometimes I'll sell a whole bunch of mug rugs and no pillows, and you just never know. But it's always good to have some smaller priced items because not everybody wants to spend a lot of on a big pillow or carry it around or whatever. These little I call them mug rugs,
Oh
and
wow. It's too
and
beautiful to put your mugs on.
well, it's
It's some
recycled denim, so it's washable.
yeah, it's almost like I would frame it or something. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Right. So sometimes they're flowers. There's a little owl, little flower, ladybug.
Oh,
So
I can see people just, like flipping through and
yeah, oh
having
yeah.
yeah, because
And
you want sort of a showstopper, like you want people to
mhm,
stop at your booth
yep.
and so you need some kind of conversation
Mhm.
starter.
And they look at those. I usually hang them up on a clothesline in my booth, and they're like, "What are those?" So then I explain what a mug rug is because most people don't know that it's bigger than a coaster, smaller than a placemat, and a good place to put your mug in, and there's room for a snack.
We
So
love a snack.
yeah, that's right.
So how much is the mug rug?
I sell those for 15. I haven't raised the price in the last 10 years. I probably should, but
Yeah.
it's easier to make change for 20
Mhm,
rather
mhm,
than
mhm.
I usually try to bring like 50 of them.
Okay.
It's kind of
So
my
that's
number.
your under 20 kind of product. Okay, so you have those mug rug, and after, if we're talking about price range, like it would jump to what
Probably 35 to 40, all the way up to maybe 85
for the pillow?
for the larger pillows. Yeah.
What's the range of price for your quilt?
It depends on how big they are. They kind of start by 140 and go up.
Do you use your craft show as a way to attract some custom orders?
Yeah, yep. Sometimes people walk by and want that one, but in a different color. I'll take custom orders. Yep, it's no problem. I want to make them happy, and if I didn't think about making that in blue, then maybe they're giving me an idea. So
I know like pricing is such a big topic, especially that we're doing a craft that takes so much time, and sometimes like that time is quite a challenge to sort of cost. There's always like what's the customers is ready. So like what's your strategy in terms of pricing?
well, there's so many formulas, and this is a tough subject for me. But my husband thinks I should charge more. But
Yeah, your husband thinks you
yeah,
should
I know.
charge more.
He
Do
sees
you think
he
you should
sees me.
charge
He
more?
sees how much I work. I kind of figure what I do is, some people, take the time to figure their hours and their costs and everything. Like, I don't want to spend the time doing that. I just figure out how many of these can I make in a day without interruptions. And then I kind of put a price on that. I can make 8 of these in a day. And that's how I kind of figure it. I kind of simplify it. And
And is it in your intention to like raise your prices a little, or
I might in the future.
I
So
encourage you?
so get it now.
It's really hard to raise prices, but I
Mhm.
feel like sometimes, like because between 15 and $20, like I feel people will spend it anyway. Like,
Well, when someone picks up 6 of them and says, "I'll take 6," that's a good thing.
so what was your best sale ever?
Oh, I had a custom baby quilt, and they wanted 9 animal heads as the squares. So that was the probably the best. I charged her 300, and that was probably my best sale. And she wanted all the animals in pink. So it was for a girl. So we still had green frogs, but we had pink monkeys and a pink moose, and it was really cute.
So, like, how's your typical like craft show customer?
A lot of times it's grandparents purchasing for grandchildren. So many people seem to think that my pillows are for children. I designed them for me. I enjoy them. Maybe I have my inner child is pretty strong, I guess, but I really enjoy it when I see an older person buying it for themselves.
Yeah,
And I was like, I get it.
yeah,
Or they'll buy a sunflower pillow to put on their porch, or
yeah.
a frog to put in their on their bed, or a moose to put on their guest room bed or something. I think that's just so much fun.
Yeah, we're allowed of colorful and
I
joyful
know.
stuff at any
I
age.
think we are. I think we are.
Yeah, let's treat ourselves.
Exactly.
So you're filling that gap.
I know.
That's
I'm trying. I'm
yeah,
trying.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
make the world a little more happy.
yeah. When I used to sell at craft show, it was always there was a lot of husband like feeling very like sort of because
Hmm.
men's love denim. So
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
so very often like there was the husband was really like into like the material and the craft,
Oh
and they were
yeah.
like, Honey, do you like it? I'm gonna buy it for you." So
I, I,
there was
I,
a
I
lot of
do. I get that too. And if they're, and I try to lure them in, and I'll say, I did leave my scissors at home. Your jeans are safe.
yeah. That's a good one.
Or no one was wearing any of these jeans when I cut them up. So nobody's running around naked. It's all good. Kind of have to joke around about it a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And I feel that men's were really drawn to first the material, but
Hmm.
also the idea of transforming and the
Yeah.
second life. And I feel
Hmm.
like men, like I don't want to generalize, but men like to keep for very long, their stuff. So that there's
Yeah.
an emotional attach. So the
Oh yeah.
idea that it can like pursue a second life. I felt like
Hmm.
women, of course, as well, but I felt that
Yeah.
men were
I think
very
they
expressive about it.
I think they appreciate it. Yep. And these pillows will last a long time.
With our craft, sometimes we're like, oh, we're in
Mhm,
textile, we're
mhm.
in some sort of fashion, or like you're positioning yourself around like home decor and
Yeah.
gifting.
And fiber art. Sometimes you can hang some of my things on the wall.
Have you
Hmm.
done some exhibition?
No, no, not art wise, other than shows. No. Maybe I should.
Yeah, you should. Do you have any tips like for the merchandising and the design of the booth? Like what's the space? Probably you don't rent
Mhm.
half a table anymore, but
Well, pillows take up a lot of room. I've never done half a table.
no, you can put three pillow.
3 pillows and that's it. But a lot of the spaces are either 8 by 10 or 10 by 10. The 8 by 10 ones that usually has a table involved, which is helpful. But then I like to elevate things so that nothing is laying flat, and that
Hmm.
bring all the furniture that I bring helps with that. And I have a quilt rack that I bring, and I hang a quilt. So I hang my sign, my back pocket design sign that's made out of pockets, on that. So the 8 by 10s, that's how I set that up. If I have a 10 by 10 booth and I have a lot of headspace, if it's inside, I'll just bring my tent frame without the top on it, and I'll put my clothesline up and I'll hang stuff up. So people can walk in and see everything all at once. Got my tables, I've got chairs, I've put chairs on my tables. I just like to elevate things so that you can see everything. So I'm just surrounded by denim.
Your boots do look really good, and I really love
Thank
like
you.
how you crafted that pocket banner,
Mhm,
and you know like all the because I feel it's interesting when you look into something that
mhm,
there's a conversation into
mhm,
what you're looking at, and
mhm.
that's your eyes is sort of bouncing from one place
Yeah.
to another,
I
and
get a lot. I get a lot of comments on my sign. People are like reading it as they're walking in, and they're like, "Oh, look at that!" They get a lot of comments on my sign, and they read it, so then they know my name, my business name. So it's a good marketing tool.
I feel that
Mhm.
when you're in a craft show, you have to have that little thing that's gonna make
Mhm.
the people slow down
Yep.
and really take the time to look at your booth,
Mhm.
give them something to interact with you, you know, to
Right.
start the conversation.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah.
you're doing this really good. And that
Oh,
banner,
thank you.
I have no doubt that it's that sort of conversation starter.
It gets a lot of comments. Thank you.
Is there other like denim upcyclers into the show you take part in, or?
No, not usually. I'm pretty unique as far as when I go to shows.
Yeah, and I think it's quite an opportunity because although like we're such a huge community,
Hmm.
I feel that it's still denim upcycling is still a form of textile art or craft
Hmm.
that is pretty
Hmm.
niche. So
Yeah.
me too. When I used to do craft show, I was like always the only denim upcycler in
All
there.
right.
So also filling up that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So, is there other quilter though that are also like showcasing work, or you're always like one of the only like quilter?
Well, I see other quilters, but they don't use the denim. I hang out with a lot of them. I belong to I belong to some guilds and that sort of thing too. So quilters are
Yeah,
great people.
yeah. You're very involved in
Mhm.
the quilting community.
Mhm.
I think you work also in a quilting shop,
Yep,
or
I work in a quilt shop part-time.
okay.
So I teach classes there, and I help people find, I work the floor, and, run the cash register and cut fabric, and it's all fun. We live in kind of a touristy community, so in the summertime we get people from all over. So it's fun to talk to the customers, and because when quilters go on vacation, they Zoom, they got to find the local quilt shop and check it out.
So you work at that shop,
Hmm.
you sell online your product, also sell pattern, teach
Yep.
in
Hmm.
classes, and do craft shows like your revenue stream without like getting too like in deep. Like what would be the percentage? Like how is it
Probably
like?
It's probably about 25% of what I do. Because I do custom work for people. I do t-shirt quilts and, you know,
Mm,
custom quilts for people. A lot of memory quilts for people of clothing of people who've passed away.
that's such a
Um,
good market as well.
yeah, that's, that makes your heart
Mm,
happy to
Yeah.
comfort someone with. I see clothing as precious fibers when someone you loved wore them.
Mm.
So I'm honored they trust me with those. I get to cut them up and
Yeah,
make
it's a
things
bit
for them.
stressful.
Mhm. I'll make quilts, or I'll make I've made purses, I've made pillows, I love to make table runners
Mm.
out of because it's like inviting someone to dinner, because it's on the
Mm.
middle of the table, and it showcases their clothing.
Mm.
All those things, I mean a lot.
I would be curious to know, like, you made some mistakes, if you want to share some lessons or tips for people who would like to attend their first craft show.
This isn't something I did, but I wouldn't just sit behind a table and not interact. Most of my shows, I hardly ever sit. I'm always walking around, talking to people. If someone's walking by, even if they're not coming in my booth, I say hello, enjoying
Mm.
the show, because I like to get people's reactions to the show, the whole
Mm.
show itself. But I wouldn't just sit behind a table and, look
Wait.
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
There
don't just,
are there are people who does that, and
Mhm.
it's just wait for like
Yeah,
some kind
yeah.
of
And
fireworks, but
I
you
know.
have to be more
It's
proactive with the
Yeah,
customer and
you do.
engaging with
Hmm.
them.
And another thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't you want your booth to be cohesive.
Mm.
You don't want to have soap and pillows and
Mm.
jewelry all in one booth.
Mm.
Because the customer's like, okay, what do I look at first?
Mhm.
But you want
Mhm.
it to be cohesive.
Mhm.
Um, if you're going to sell, I might sell denim jewelry, but that would be part of my brand.
Mm. 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 Mm.
So,
Mm.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll see booths and they're like five different things in there, and it's like, I don't know what to look at first. And
Yeah,
it's
and
like
then you don't have a clear idea
of
who
who
could
they
I
are.
give it
Mhm.
to, or
Yeah,
so you have to make it
right.
easy for the customer to sort of scan through and
Yep.
have a quick idea of
Exactly. Exactly. I
that.
think that those are the two things that come to mind when you ask
Mm.
that question.
Yeah, and I think it's something really great about denim also, that cohesion, like
Hmm.
the material itself
Hmm.
really gives us that sort of cohesive and
Yeah.
nice look, because of the color and
Denim goes with everything.
yeah, exactly. And did you had some, like, not, I don't want to say like failure, but with the craft show, but sometimes you try out like a new venue,
Mhm.
or some friend organize a new
Mhm.
event, or and
I
the reputation still not very there. So do you
Yeah,
have some
I had
miss?
I did one show, a local show. It was a small show, and I didn't sell a single thing.
Oh,
But
that's hard.
but uh, but I don't think my stuff is overpriced. But
Mm.
there were people there who were selling things for $2 and $3, and
Mm.
it was more like a church bazaar, I think.
Mm. Okay.
And I don't do well at those.
You have those sort of vintage
Hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of craft show,
yeah,
antique, and
yeah,
sometimes it's not the same
yeah.
customer as the one that would go into a craft show to really like
Hmm.
meet with artists and
Right.
artisan, and
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
that's
So,
something to think about. But it's
so
so disappointing when
I know.
you all this work and you don't sell a
Hmm.
thing, or sometimes there's just no people coming.
Yeah. Well, there were people there, but just not.
Not the
I
right
mean,
customer.
there was a gentleman there selling little wooden cars that he had made,
Mm.
like $2.
Mm.
And that's great. If I don't think they were business people. I think they were people that were just having fun making things and selling them for whatever. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay, but I think it's frustrating in some point, because like when you're in a craft show and you have a business and you want
Mhm.
to build a living
Yeah.
for yourself, and you need to price your item into a sort of way to be able to
Mhm.
sustain the work you're making.
Right.
And then there's like the crafters that do this,
For
for
fun.
fun, and will
Yeah.
do one show per
Yeah.
year and just selling whatever.
Mhm.
And of course,
Yeah.
it's okay,
Yeah. It's
but
okay, but.
But it's just like make some kind of competition, and also
Mhm.
it make it difficult for the customer to understand the proper price because they're gonna be,
Yeah,
well, this one sells for a few
yeah,
bucks. How come you
mhm,
sell
yeah,
for?
exactly. So I try to stay away from those shows now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, that's all about experience. But
yeah, yeah,
after 70 craft show in your sleeve, you probably
yeah,
knows which one is good for you and where
yeah.
is your
And
customer. So,
and every show, even if you do the same show over and over again, you want to set your booth up different every time. So
of course,
it's like, a puzzle every time. So
yeah.
I enjoy that part too, the merchandising of it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And
Hmm.
also, if you do 2 days craft show, sometimes it's just fun the second
Hmm.
day to like mix things up
Yeah.
and
Well,
like start
I'll
fresh.
do that during a show. If
Yeah.
there's I usually have one or two of the pillows out front greeting people,
Mm,
and so I change those up. But it's really
yeah.
cute to see kids walking by and putting their hands in the pockets,
Yeah.
and the parents are like, "Oh, don't touch it." I'm like,
To close this conversation, like, can you
"Okay."
let us know where you're gonna be next? Like, what are your next craft show and where we can meet you and shop some back pocket design?
My next show is going to be November 1st at
Yeah.
Bethlehem Lutheran, the one that raises money for the baby pantry, and
Mm,
so that's my next show. And then I do one at the high school a few weeks later. So I'm
okay.
just doing two in November. And in December, I'm just going to be trying to get all my custom orders done that people
Okay.
want for Christmas.
For
Like
Christmas.
t-shirt quilts and all those other things. Try to get those done for Christmas. My Etsy shop is Back Pocket Design,
Hmm.
and I sell patterns there. I do sell some made things, but I mostly I sell patterns there.
So, Sue, this
Yeah,
was such an interesting conversation, and I'm sure a lot of denim cyclers in our community are going to find great
I hope so.
value in all the tips you gave us, and hopefully they feel inspired.
So it's a lot of fun. There needs to be more of us out there. So go for it.
In an upcoming video, we head into Sue's studio for a full behind-the-scene tour. You'll get to see the sewing machine she swears by, her favorite tools, how she organizes her workspace, and even pick up some of her go-to quilting tips and tricks.